Hello everyone, I hope you are doing fine. In this video we are gonna see how to forward your domain request to your local machine. For this we're gonna follow these 9 steps. The first one is to start a server listening in port 1818. The next step is to install and configure haproxy to forward the request that is coming to your machine in the port 18 to the server in the port 1818. The first step is to configure your local router to send the request in your public IP port 18 to your local machine port 18. Next step is to create some record set in Route 63 that send the request to your public IP. After this, we have to create an Amazon Web Service policy to be able to change Route 63 from the lambda function. Next step is create a lambda function that set the record in Route 63. After this, we have to open a Api Gategate to forward the public IP to lambda function, and after this, just create a Docker container that executes this lambda function every certain time. So let's get started. We are gonna use Python 3 to create a server in my Raspberry Pi listening in port 1818. We just have to run this command and we have a server running in the port 1818. We can verify going to the port 1818 in the 000 and we see the content of the file. Now we have to install haproxy to forward the request that is coming to our machine in the port 18 to the server that is listening in the port 1818. So we're gonna use sudo apt-get to install the program. We can verify that when the installation is complete, haproxy will be running successfully. Here it is. So now we have to configure it to forward the port to the server that we already configured. So we're gonna add a couple of lines that is defined already here. So we have to copy these lines. That what it does is blink the port 18 in our local machine to the server listening in 1818. Our machine have the local IP 192.178.1.63. So here is defined this IP. So we have to copy paste this in our haproxy.cfg. We have to restart the haproxy. So for this we have to run this command and we verify that the status is running successfully. To verify that now it's working fine, we can go to the step 3 and forward the request that is coming directly to our router is forward to the machine in the port 1818. So in this part, every router is different and the configuration should be configured in different way. So I will configure in the one that we have, but probably the one that you have will be configured in different way. 168.1.53 protocol is TCP and the port is 1818. So this one will be the same, and we add this rule to our router. So now if we are sending directly to our public IP, will we see what is inside the server that we are running in 1818. So if we are going to this one, we get service unavailable because it's stopping by the aproxy. To modify this one, we have to modify the proxy to not go with the domain, not go to the domain Cortijo de Mazas, but with every domain. So we will comment this line here, and we will use just by default this one. So we will update, we will status no, we will restart the restart, and now we should be able to see the content. So now we are forward everything that is code to our public IP to this this server that is running in the 1818. So this is my personal computer. So if I go to this machine, I will see this. I am not in the same private network that the Raspberry. So now it's going to the router from public internet and then go to the haproxy and then to the server. Next step is to create a record set in Route63 to forward to our public IP. Our public IP is right now this one, but this one may change. So it will send all the requests that is going to this cortijodemaza.com to this public IP. So we have to change it back the haproxy as the configuration we have before. So we have to add here the condition that if the big host is Cortijo de Masa, just to change that the domain will forward the domain that contains this request. So we just have to restart. And now if we go to cortijodemazas.com, we should be able to see our Raspberry Pi. So in this step, I'm gonna show you how to create a AML policy to give access to lambda function to modify the Route 66 router. So I have created one already. So I will show you here how the JSON look like. So I will put it in the comment below. Just copy, and now we just simulate that, create another one. So I will not go all the proxies. So just put here review, put the name like router DNS or router 53 and description, whatever, and just create it. In the step number 6, we're gonna create a lambda function that modify the Route 63 record set. So for this we have to go to lambda function. We're gonna create some function. Just click here. We can name it like route set. That's an example. In this case, I'm using Python 3.7, and we have to select now the route that we created before. So from existing roles, we select the one that we created before, and now we create the lambda. I already created before, so I will show you a little bit how it works. It have this password that you have to send in the request. Yes, not to allow every request to change the domain record set. So the password will came along with the request and also the IP. So it will set the IP for all the record set for this domain that you want to add. Just have to, it's a list, so just have to add this object over and over with different host name. So instead of public, we can put here to do. So just is this one. Here it will modify and it will return 200 if it's correct, or 404 if the password is incorrect. You have to modify here the host some ID because this one is mine and it will not work for your domain. So just copy all the function of the lambda function and put it here. So we will save, and now we have to go to the step number 7, that is to add some trigger that is an Api gateway. So we can create one, we can create new one or choose one of the one that we have already. So we will do open so everyone can execute. It's highly recommend to use some kind of authentication. Normally I use IAM and also the password. So in this one I will only use open for not make the video that long. So just execute the create the now is join to the Api gateway. So we have now to modify the Api gateway. So now we have to create the Api gateway and to forward the password and the IP. So we can go to service and Api gateway, and we are using one that is called Cortijo. So we have to go to Cortijo, and this one is used for route set. So this one we have to go here. I already have done before, so I will duplicate to show how. So in the integration here, request any, we have to go to integration request. So here we have to unclick this use lambda proxy integration. It will ask if we want to do it, just press yes, yes. So it will take a little to chart, but now we have. So in the mapping template, we have to add a mapping template. So application JSON, applicati on JSON. So this to P, yes, I will duplicate to see one example. This one. So any is here. So here I have the map. So it's application JSON. Just to make sure I don't make any mistake. So yes, use current setting. So here we have to catch the IP from the request and the password also for the request. So is this object here that the password is defined by the input that have the key password, and the IP is gained directly from the request. So we just save it and we are good to go. We have now, when we have saved the command, we have to deploy our AP. So just put final state. Now is good to go. So here is the IP gateway that we have for this. So we have to gauge the one that is route. So just some normal one. So with this one, we will be able to execute the lambda function. But just remember that we have to send data the password, otherwise will fail. So if we just execute here, it will fail with command 04 because the password is incorrect. So we can go to some terminal here. So the last step, that is number 8, not 9, we will create a Docker container that will run this, will check first if the vhost, the domain is working, and if it's not, it will modify it will execute the lambda function, modify the route 63 record set. So for this, we will create in one carpet, anyone, it doesn't matter, some file called Dockerfile. So the content of this Docker file is just Alpine. We install curl, we copy one init file, and we execute this init file. We also need this init file, so we will copy from here. I already created. So what this does is first test that the domain is working right. They have a maximum time of the 10 seconds, and it can get the HTTP response. So HTTP code, and if the HTTP code is different than 200, it will execute the lambda function, sending the password that we super secret put it in the lambda function. So yeah, we have here. So just we save. We build the image. We name it, for example, router. And we build from the file folder. So once we have created, we can run it. Remote for router, just to make sure we don't have any container called this way. So we just execute in secret mode docker run. We name it the same way as the image, so we put it here. So now the router is working. So we can see the logs from this container. So we see here that we will follow, and we see here that every 10 seconds is sending a request to this server, but it's going to Cortijo de Maza. Cortijo de Maza is going to Amazon Web Service. It will there the route 53 forward to my public IP, forward my router forward to the H8 proxy, and the S8 proxies forward to my defined machine. We can do something else just to show you a little bit how this H8 proxy work. Oh, not here. So it's here. So just change this one, and we can put here a second server. So we can call 2, and the port it will be similar, the same IP 1.56, and the port will change by 1, and we will put the flag check to check first that the request is the server is working. So we save it. We create here a second proxy, second server, running in the port 8081, 81. Okay, so now we go here and we restart the H8 proxy. So once this is restart, we will start receiving requests to this other server too. Here we go. So now it's going to both server. So this is everything.